This is a big enterprise for you, so give us the context. How many athletes, what kind of preparations have to be done for this?
We're sitting on, I think it's 12 athletes that have qualified already. I think they announced 11 of them yesterday. Khotso obviously qualified after their initial cut-off date. And then Willem Kutsen, there's a little bit of a confusion as to why he wasn't included, which will bring up to 13 athletes. So we're looking at about 13 at the moment, and probably another 10 or so that are applying their trade in Europe. And then we're going to the African Senior Championships at the end of the month. We expect to still qualify. So we're looking probably at a team around about 25 for the athletics component.
That's purely the track and field component. Obviously, the team, the full South African team, there are a lot of other people involved as well. Is that number a good number for a country like South Africa? I mean, we've said over the years that given our weather, given the human resources of the country, the population, the facilities, we should be perhaps sending more people to the Olympics and winning more medals.
I think you're right. It's going to take a while to get us to that level of strength. We share a top 5 country in the world at all levels. And junior and youth level at the moment, we're normally easily in the top 10. At a senior level, we're not pulling it through yet. There has been an improvement over the last couple of years with the performances of our athletes. In Daegu, we came back with 4 medals when we didn't really actually even expect to win anything. And Costa was so close to winning the gold. So we have got the ability in this country to do it. The structures have collapsed in the last few years. And once we get those back again, I think we're going to see a vast improvement. We also, we're not paying enough attention to the technical events in South Africa. The discus throws and the hammer and that sort of thing. And if we could actually pay more attention to that, I think we'd be a lot better country. We're relying too much on events that the rest of the world is also very good at.
Of course, costs, finance, whatever you want to call it, sponsorship, that's an issue, and it must be tricky for athletes. In its essence, it's an individual sport, although occasionally you have team relays and so on, but it doesn't have the sort of cohesive magic of a Springbok team where you have massive sponsorship. And you've got to do two things. You've got to pay for the athletes to train and prepare, and you've got to pay to get them to the Olympics.
Yes, that's one of you've sort of summarized part of the problems that we have. Fortunately, in terms of sending the athletes to the Olympics themselves, the National Olympic Federation, SASCOC, they take over that side of it. But of course, they only take that over. They take them over once they get into the team. We have to get the athletes to the ability to the level where they get in, and that can be an expensive exercise. Just taking, for example, our team that goes to the Africa Senior Champs at the end of this month in Benin. We've selected a fairly big team of about, I think it's 79, and that's going to cost us close to R1 million in flight tickets and that sort of thing. So it's a costly exercise. And the problem is that athletics actually is a team sport as much as an individual one. And overseas they have several competitions versus other countries. We don't do that in this country, and that's one of the things that's lacking, is that haven't got inter-club and interprovincial and international competitions. And once we get that, I think we'll get the more people coming and watching.
If athletics in South Africa was a business, how would you rate its governance now compared to in the last few years, and how would you rate it as a going concern?
If you get to ask me to rate it how it should, we're far short of the mark. If you ask me how we were 2 years ago, 200% improvement. The problem is, athletics had two problems. One, it went from an amateur sport to a professional, and that means it's also a complete change in personnel, which you don't often get. So you get the amateurs trying to run it as a professional sport. And the second thing, obviously, is the turmoil we had in 2009. A lot of administrative experience, good or bad, was lost. So in 2010, when we took over, the structures just weren't there. So we've improved them a lot. We've still got a way to go. And we also got we're sort of putting the organisation back financially in the right direction. Still not as strong as we'd want to be able to do everything we'd like to, but we're definitely a lot stronger than we were.
How many medals do you think we're going to win? Now, be honest, not too optimistic. How many medals are we going to bring back from London?
One thing I'll never do is make a medal prediction, because remember, it's only 3 people that get them. The best we're hoping for is to get, not hoping for, but what we'd would see as par is if we could get 10 people into the finals, or at least into what constitutes what would be equivalent to a final. That would be considered a success.
That was James Evans, Chairperson of Athletics South Africa.